If you want to get ahead of 99% of the people, here is something that I want to share with all of you. And this is not an extract from any management book or any sort of theoretical stuff. This is purely out of my corporate experience and me decoding the fact that what it takes for you to be ahead of 99% of the people. And from my corporate experience for the last 2.5 decades, what I have realized is a lot of people do not understand the trick of what is required for them to be ahead of 99% of the people. Now, whether you succeed or not eventually is relative, but here is something I feel for all the youngsters out there, all those who are actually in their mid-careers or for corporate job, and I'm basically trying to draw this analogy for people working in a company because that's what best I know all about. I try to decode this as to why we have 99% of the people lagging and that's 1% who are ahead of the game. What makes them different? Let me just clear the traffic and we'll speak about it. So if you want to stay ahead of the 99% of the people, could be in your cohort, could be in your organization. Guys, there is no shortcuts in life, okay? It's all hard work. Even what I'm going to talk today all about requires hard work. There's no shortcuts, right? Stay tuned with me. I'm going to get some fuel and we'll hit the road again. So today I want to talk about a very subtle but a very powerful force which is called entitlement, and trust me ladies and gentlemen, it creeps in quietly, it makes us comfortable, and before we even know it turns into an anchor holding us back, seriously. So let me take you back to a time when I was on a residential training program at one of the top business schools in the country, and it was an amazing place. It was a week-long residential training program sponsored by the company, a beautiful campus, 5-star hotel, great facilities, incredible food, and such amazing people to work with and talk to. And we were at the third day of this program, and we were at lunch, and I was standing at the lunch counter, and there was a huge spread of food out there. I mean, you had South Indian, you had North Indian, you had continental, you had desserts, name it, everything that you could think possibly on a 7-course meal. I was standing in line for the North Indian counter, and then a colleague of mine who stood behind me, he leaned over to look at the menu, and he uttered or muttered to himself just loud enough for me to hear, and this is what he said: "Aaj bhi dal makhni." Something about that moment hit me so deeply. And I was saying, here we are in a world-class institution, food that most would call luxury, and yet someone found space to complain? That's ridiculous. What was behind that reaction? Was it disappointment or was it entitlement? It stayed with me for such a long time, not just that day, even for today. And so it's been years since this incident happened. It's caught up with me very strongly, and I want to reflect on this entitlement aspect and decode it. So let's break it down. So entitlement doesn't announce itself. It's not loud or arrogant all the time. It sneaks in when we get too used to comfort. When we begin to expect more than we earn. Think about it. Many of us were born into loving families that gave us food, good food, education, safety and values. Over time, we forgot that those very privileges are actually rare. There are kids out there, guys, walking kilometers just to attend a school with no roof. There are families living on just 100 rupees a day. And yet we feel upset if the dal doesn't have enough ghee or the Wi-Fi drops for 10 seconds. That, my friends, is the danger of comfort turning into entitlement. The interesting aspect is we didn't choose our parents. We didn't choose to be born in homes that gave us books, internet, language skills and emotional support. That's pure luck. A genetic and a geographical lottery. And that lottery gave us the platform to study, work and grow. But when we forget the role of luck, we start thinking, I'm here because I worked harder than everybody else. I mean, that's such a big lie. That's only half true. There are laborers, farmers, daily wage workers who work 10 times harder than you and me, but they don't have the exposure or connections or cushion we had. So, entitlement is born when we confuse privilege with merit. So let's talk about the workplace for a minute. Today, modern workplaces offer climate-controlled offices, MacBooks and beanbags, pet-friendly zones, napping pods, free coffee, snacks, Friday night parties, and you name it. And that's amazing, and we should be thankful. But here is what happens often. People start believing that these perks are proof of their greatness. They say, I must be special if I have all this. But in a company of, let's say, 100,000 people, it's just that one person who wake up each day and say, hang on, I need to work harder. I don't deserve this yet. I need to keep proving my value. That 1%, they are the ones who are innovating. They are the ones who are transforming and pushing the company forward. The other 99%, ladies and gentlemen, they are comfortable, productive for sure, but complacent. They stop taking risks, they stop asking questions, they stop learning beyond the job description. And that's what entitlement does. It makes you think you've already made it and you've arrived. Let's not forget social media. Yeah, it shows us influencers at the age of 21 with Lamborghinis, tech bros raising $1 million overnight, travelers on endless vacations. We see all that and we begin to feel, I deserve that too. Why not we? But what we don't see is the depth, the burnouts, the pressure, the luck, the fake followers, all of that behind these people. Social media feeds us a highlight reel and convinces us that life owes us more. And the more we believe that, the more entitled we become. Can you see the circle? What a vicious circle this is. So here is something powerful. You can't be entitled and grateful at the same time. Seriously. One says, I deserve this. The other says, thank you for this. Gratitude keeps us humble. Gratitude reminds us that nothing is permanent. Gratitude fuels effort and progress. Entitlement makes us believe that our current level is the default setting of life. And the moment life takes a dip, we feel wronged, we complain, we blame. But gratitude helps us respond with grace and perspective. So here is how I think we can fight entitlement, personally and collectively. The first one is self-awareness. Ask yourself regularly, am I growing or am I just coasting along? Very powerful question. Second, serve others, volunteer, give back, see the lives of those less fortunate. It will reset your reality. Challenge comfort. The third thing, do things you're not paid to do. Go beyond the job. Learn outside your role. Fourth, stay a student. Read, unlearn, be curious. Be the dumbest person in the room sometimes. It's okay. 5, surround yourself with hustlers, people who still believe they have a long way to go even if they are successful. Final word, people who move the world don't feel entitled. Don't say I've arrived. Don't get addicted to comfort. Don't follow the crowd. They're constantly questioning, improving, building, and breaking norms. They're uncomfortable by choice. And that discomfort what creates progress, guys and girls. So if you're watching this and you feel that a little itch inside you that says, maybe I've been a bit too comfortable lately, then don't ignore it. That's your soul trying to remind you you were not built to coast. You are built to create, to contribute, and to rise. Sit down in a quiet, silent place and think about everything that you're doing. Are you just doing things that are there on your job description? Or are you doing things beyond that? Are you able to bring value to the organization, or you're just kind of working as BAU, which is business as usual? Doesn't help anybody, doesn't help you as well. You can continue with that life of yours. Nothing is going to fall down. Nothing is going to kind of get through the cracks. But the fact of the matter is that you are going to be just a part of those 99%. You're not going to be ahead of that 99%. So kill that virus of entitlement which is leading to comfort, and that's the only way that you will get ahead of 99% of people. And trust me, what I'm sharing with you all today is out of my experience, and I don't think there's any other substitute to experience. You may have a lot of knowledge, but I keep telling everybody 1 gram of experience is more than a ton of knowledge. So as I end this ride, let me leave you with one thought. Comfort is the greatest enemy of greatness. Entitlement is the prison with velvet walls. So the next time life gives you a dal makhani, don't complain, say thanks, and then ask yourself, how can I earn this again tomorrow? Ride safe, Stay grateful, stay hungry, and never stop moving forward, ladies and gentlemen. On that note, I'm going to bring this vlog to an end today. Have a great Sunday ahead. Take good care of yourselves, if possible, someone else too.